Group. My name is Tom Abbott. I'm going to be your instructor for SMG 401 Sport Economics, and I thought what I'd like to do to get us started is just give you a little introduction to the upcoming week, how we're going to do a few things, how I go about teaching this course, what it's all about, where to find stuff in the shell, and just some general information to get us started. So by saying that, let me start off with welcome. I'm really happy to get back to teaching this course again. I do it 3 or 4 times a year, and it's something that's really interesting to me. The sport, to me, is just a huge part of my life, as I'm sure it is to many of you. And for me, not only do I teach here at the university, I coach here at the university. Been involved in competitive sports for as long as I can remember, but I really do have a very deep interest in the business side of things. And so I think the first thing I'm going to remind us all is to remember this is a business course as much as anything else. Sport management is in the business school for a reason. And that is very important for us to remember as we go along. So that being said, a few things about where we go. You can read up all the boring stuff that you want to, probably way too much, way more than you ever wanted to know about me in the course information section and in the Meet Your Instructor tab. But like I just said a little bit, I am primarily a business professor with a lot of sport background on the side. And what we would like to make sure that we do in this course is keep that perspective. Referenced it already. So without further ado, one of the first things I'm going to tell you, having taught this course, as I said, a number of times, one of the first warnings I'm going to give everybody, and I'm warning myself as well as you, one thing you need to try to do as we go through the course, try to keep thinking like a professional and not like a fan. Okay? That's going to be really hard to do because we are going to get distracted by the sports side of things when we're trying to look at the business and economic side of things. So, as I often tell people, what you really want to do is try to maintain a different perspective. Don't look at it like a fan. Look at it more as if you were a general manager or a team owner or maybe the mayor of a big city who needs to get a sports franchise to locate in his town, or maybe the chief executive of a governing body like like the NCAA or like the International Olympic Committee or the commissioner of a league. That's the level I want us to try to maintain. And it's some very big picture stuff, but it's also going to be driven by not only the business of sport, but the mechanics of sport. So another thing I want people to recognize is that, in economics, and my original academic training is in economics, one of the basic principles we really hang our hat on is that economics is based on rational thought. Well, because of that fan factor I just talked about, we're going to have to remember that a lot of times sport really makes us do irrational things. $2 billion for the Los Angeles Clippers. I don't care how much better they've gotten. Rational thought? Really? I don't know. That's one of the things we're going to discuss. And then another thing operationally about the course is I brought up the Clippers sale. There are going to be new things every week. Conference realignment has now moved into the potential separation of the power conferences in the NCAA. There are new things in the news. So as we go through the course, as you look at each unit, don't mind people looking ahead. That'll give you the framework for what the next unit is going to be about. But kind of wait back because the things I have placed in the course, guess what? They may change on a week-to-week basis, depending on the news, depending on what the hot topic is, but we're going to look at each individual section and what it means for the economics of the whole world of sport. We're going to try to do things from a very global perspective too. We just came through the World Cup and you saw I'm an ex-college soccer player, okay? I am a soccer guy as well as being a tennis coach. So I have more of a global perspective sometimes on my sports than the domestic. Although my biases will come out, I will tell you that I'll own up right away to being a Giants fan. I bleed Celtic green. Those are my two main passionate fan bases that I'm part of. And of course, when it comes to college sports, there is you must recognize that no matter whether you laugh, snicker, or side with me, the center of the entire universe is in Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts. So that's going to come through a couple times too. But I'm going to try to behave and not act like a fan myself. This first week when we go into it, you're going to see a couple of oddball things, okay? You're going to see a video that, as an economics guy, I think is absolutely hilarious. You might not. What I'd like you to do is just to take that as a review. We're all supposed to have studied economics before we got to this point, and I'm just trying to gauge where we are. The other thing that I'd like you to really take the time to read is the comments from I believe I've titled the link "Comments from a Leading Sport Economist." This is a gentleman by the name of Dr. Zimbalist at Smith College up in Massachusetts, one of the most prominent figures in sport economics that there is. And just to get a feel for where we are and what we're doing. And so the assignment this week really is that first graded discussion board. Talking about what do you see as 3 pressing issues, really important issues in the world of sports that affect it in a business and economics way. Okay, and I'd really like you to really think of anything you want that's going on, but think of it in the business and economic sense. Big issues, big things that are important to you and you see as being important as affecting the world of sport. Okay, now for some real operational things. You're going to come to understand, I think, pretty quickly that this is a very intensely discussion-based course. The discussion board is important. And you will find in the course information section a set of expectations and a discussion rubric. And that's there to help you know what we need to do every week. And I read every post that comes in, believe me. I may not respond to everyone because sometimes there's no need for me to be the centerpiece of the discussion. You are the centerpiece of the discussion. And that's why I want people to basically get in early, preferably by Wednesday night, and I'm going to sort of state that as a deadline. By Wednesday of the week, you really should have put in your first substantive post, because if you wait until the weekend and you wait until, say, Saturday night, Sunday night, well, there's a chance that I'm going to be the only guy that reads it, okay? You coming in at the end of the week and just putting 3 things up there, not really a discussion, is it? It's just a quick message board. And I don't want this to degenerate into being a message board like we read on all the sports websites. So that's definitely a factor. I want this to be a real discussion. And then there's going to be, across the spectrum of the course, there are going to be 2 very important assignments. The midterm, which is kind of a case study, a hypothetical situation, and then also the final, which is a review of major issues. And I'm going to expect you to do a lot of writing. I don't give tests per se. I like people to really be able to, especially at the 400 level, to show what they can do in terms of critical thinking and critical writing. That's really important to all of us. So you'll find those expectations there. You'll find all the information you need to know, how to reach me, where to reach me. I think I've got just about every way to contact me through the university that you can. Another important thing to realize is I'm going to make these video announcements every week. What I try to do is look at what went on the week before and what you can expect in the week coming. Don't ignore them, okay? Important information is going to be in there. So I'm not just talking here to hear myself talk or to enjoy my pretty face on the video. It's really important that you do this. I think this class can be really interesting. I think we can have a lot of fun with it. I think that most of us will be able to express an awful lot of opinions while learning a lot from each other. So really, this week, let's get started. What I'd like you to do, and you can see it in the first week's requirement, mandatory introductions, just like every other course you've had. Tell us all, share with us who you are, what your background is in sport management, why you're taking the course, Really, why are you taking it? And what are some of your expectations of the course and of perhaps a career in sport management? Okay? That's mandatory and it's not graded. But that second discussion board, the one at the bottom, Unit 1 discussion, is graded, and that's where I'm asking you to come up with the three very pressing issues. So don't just hit me with three bullets. Give me some things. Give it some critical thought. Let's get started on this right away. Let us know what we need to look at, and that'll not only tell me a little bit about all our backgrounds, it'll tell me a little bit more about how we should direct the course. Okay? So I'm looking forward to this. I think, as I said a minute ago, we can have a lot of fun, we can learn a lot from each other, and this is going to be one of the more, I think, interesting experiences. It always is for me. I hope it is for you. Okay, thanks very much.